Namaste everyone, this is Srikanth Rangar, and in this video we are going to see we will solve some problems that the students are facing when it comes to printing out the result of what they have drawn. Okay, so first up, let me just show the template that we currently have. We need slight modifications in the template, and we will do that over here. So bit.ly Sri temp. Fine. Sri is short for my name, Srikanth, and temp is short for template. So this is the link where the template for drawing file is available. So we just need to visit there, download it. It will take some time. When it's downloaded, open it in AutoCAD, and you can see now that this is the template in which all my students will be solving all the problems. So it has already got the questions for conversions of 3D to 2D diagrams. So many of them are located over here, and I had directed all my students to actually solve all their problems for engineering graphics from the very first lab to the last lab in the same single file. Okay, so after having solved all these problems in the same single file, the aim is for the students to take printout in 1:1 ratio. That means if some length is 30 mm over here in the diagram that we have drawn exactly, then it should be exactly 30 mm when it is taken a print on the paper, and if you measure it with the scale. So that is our objective for today's class. So there are a lot of problems which the students are facing. In fact, I thought that initially if I create these blocks and make arrangements for these things, like okay, third angle projection, then no dimensions with dimensions. So this is the paper size for letter size, and here I have the paper size for A4s. Yeah, this is for A4 and this is for letter size. So these two are landscapes and these two are portraits. So I thought initially that if I create such blocks, the students can directly insert these blocks, edit the details for their names and all. I've used the attributes function in AutoCAD for doing that. So they can edit this and place their diagram here in this, and then they can shift over here to take the printout. But the problem is that a lot of times when we convert this to PDF, let me just show you the problem that we are facing. Let me say that we want to take a print of this. So this suppose I'm taking the printout on the same paper which is provided with the file from the college. So that size is letter size. So we'll have to go here in the letter size, double click over here, type Z enter, E enter to place everything over here, then Z enter, O enter, select this object to fit the object on the screen, and then Z enter 1xp enter. So this will make the size to be true shape. Fine, 1:1 shape, 1:1 ratio, and when the ratio is 1:1, they will get the exact size. Fine. So when the print is taken and when they measure it with the scale, they will get this length exactly as 30 mm. So that was the initial intention. But the problem that we are facing is the students have to use either the landscape or A4 sheets, and then if they are using A4 sized sheet over here and then they are trying to set it over here, you can see the lines are going outside. We are not getting a constant margin on all the sides. So this is a big problem that they're facing. Secondly, some students had ended up scaling the diagram to place the question at the top. They had applied a scale, and since I didn't ask them to place any dimensions over the diagram, a lot of diagrams ended up being scaled and they were not of true shape, and the very question of getting 1:1 scale was all gone. So then I thought I should be making some modifications to make it easier for the students to be able to set this things up for printing purpose. So that's what I'll be doing today in this session. Fine, so let me just move it aside, and yeah, so let me first place the block over here. So for placing the blocks, I just have to type I enter, and over here you can see a lot of blocks I have created. They are ready-made blocks which your students can use. Okay, so let me reduce the size of this a little. So since this is a letter size and landscape, so we have to use letter landscape block. Let's keep it here exactly at 0 angle, and we can feed the values over here. So once the students feed the topic, okay, so topic, let us say, okay, conversions, and problem number 3D to 2D number 1. My name, you can just, student can just type in their name. Just want to type in my name, and here they have to type in the roll number. I'll just type faculty, click OK, and you can see as soon as they type these values inside, all those values will appear over here. Okay, so once all these values appear over here, we just have to double click inside. The students have to double click on the inside, then they'll have to place the diagram over here, then type Z, enter 1xp, enter, and that will make the size as 1:1. Now double click on the outside. So they will no longer need these lines and borders and all those things. Fine. So borders and all those things will not be required anymore. So they just need to complete the diagram, and then when we shift over here, double click over here. If the size is different, you can just type Z, enter 1xp, enter, and then type p, enter to arrange it sufficiently. Fine. So if they can place it at one end, if they need to place question over here or something, or if they want the question on the right side, they can place it over here like this. So it's up to them how they want to arrange it. Fine. So once they think that it is sufficiently arranged, they just press enter and double click on the outside. So now you can see that the diagram is placed properly, and the table is also appearing properly over here. So same way we can just place these templates over here. So let me place the letter sized template as well over here, and I can just topic and problem number and my name, and okay, right. So yeah, this is next over here. Okay, so now if they want to place some diagram in here, they just have to again come over here, and then again Z, enter 1xp, enter, that will become 1x, double click on the outside, and now okay, whatever question they want, you can just have it over here. Fine. So this way they can place it very easily. Okay, so let me fix these as well. Okay, so let me just put aside. We don't need this. Okay, insert. Okay, right. So this one is A4 landscape. I'll go ahead and place A4 landscape over here. Again, let me say problem. All right. So that is as well. This is not supposed to be letters. This is supposed to be A4 landscape, right? Yeah. So this is the one. That's right. Right. So by default, I'm just going to make this. So if you want to change these values, just double click on this, and you will get option like this. So one by one you can click what option you want, and you can just make the changes over here. So this one is problem number. Okay. Oh god, problem number. Click OK, and that's it. You can see this has now been set. So this is A4 sized sheet, and again if you want to set some diagram in here, double click inside, Z, enter E, enter, Z, enter O, enter, or you can just zoom into whichever you want, Z, enter 1xp, enter, and then just P, enter for placing it wherever you want conveniently. Press enter, then double click on the outside. So this will keep setting these things up. So now we no longer need any of these things. Fine. None of these are actually needed. Okay. There we go. So these are the questions for conversions, and they need to solve it below here, and once they have solved, they can just fix those drawings over here. Okay, so let me just show one particular example. So let me assume that a value is 100 over here. So I'm just going to take a value is 100. Okay, a equal to 100, and then all right. So a value I'm going to take as 100, and I'm going to solve it. So a values, if you're my students and if you have access to the Moodle program, you will get the value of a from your Moodle question, and that value is the one which you have to take, and accordingly you have to solve. Now since the front view is pointing slightly towards left, this is where we'll get front view, side view will be here, and top view will be below the front view. So let me start the diagram over here. So let me just go to full screen. Okay, let me start my diagram somewhere here. Go up, up is 15, and go left, that is a value, that is 100. Come back, close it. Then from here again up, that is 30. Then come here, that is 24. Then I have the length from here. Let me take another line from here, that is 24, and then close it over here. Now here we have the face C and G, which are of length 30 mm. So I'm going to take offset or enter 30, enter, click here, right, click here, right, and may enter, take solid properties, apply on all the sides. Because all the edges are visible, this is how it will appear. Next, let's take a line again, draw a projector from here, and this is the starting point. From here take another line up till here. Then the measurement from there is 60, so 60, close it over here, trim it, tr double enter, remove these, and of course this outer boundary, these are all visible edges. Then we need a distance of 30 from here to for face H and F. So let me take offset of 30 from here in downward direction. Then we need this 24 and this 24, right? So that I can take directly from here. So take a projector from here, click here and here, take another projector from here, click here and here. Now since this distance we had taken as 24 and 24, the same distance is now coming on the top view. So match properties, MA, take the same property and apply it over here. Now this edge over here will not be there at all, so there is no edge over here, so we'll have to trim it off. So tr double enter, click here. Then we have the cut over here. So this is 15, 30, 30. Let's go ahead and do that. So I can take this over from here, but before that let me take offset of 15. So O enter 15, enter, click and click up. Then L enter, from here click here and click here. Again from here click here and here. Okay, it's got to be perpendicular. Okay, so now these lines, these two sides, they don't exist, so tr double enter, remove these two. And because we had clicked over here once, these lines are all just projector lines. Fine, so these are just projection lines. We can just remove them if we don't want them. Then apply trim again, tr double enter, remove this part. Fine. And these two edges, they also need to be visible edges. They are visible edges, so they need to be thicker. So apply match properties over there. So that completes our top view. And going for the side view, we have to click here and click here, take a circle from here passing through this point, tr double enter, remove this, and then we can continue using these for creating other projector lines. Fine, so you have to take O enter, T enter, O enter, T enter, then click on the line for which you want offset, and click the point through which it has to pass. Then go ahead and draw vertical lines. You have to click once here, once more here. You have to create one more overlapping line over here. Then I need O enter, T enter, passing through this point, passing through this point. This is to pass over here. Let me take a line again from here till here, then here. Let me trim this off. Trim this off as well. So match properties, make these lines thick. So these lines, because they are visible edges, they need to be thick. But here we don't have any visible edge. You can see over here the B face is complete straight, so this line needs to be gone. But we have another face here or here, like J, that is at distance 15. So that 15 reference point we can take here. O enter, T enter, click through this point and click through this point. Now the same length, which is 15, should come over here. Okay, and this line will be there and it will be hidden edge. So match properties, we have to take hidden edge properties over there. So take the hidden edge property. Okay, this is a block. Let me take the hidden edge over here. Okay, so you can take this from the block. Again, I enter, if you do, you will get the block where the legend is placed. So just click on that and place it wherever you want. But this will be a single block. So in order to apply the properties, you need to explode it first. Explode command is X enter. So select it, X enter, and now you'll be able to apply the properties. So now we want hidden edge properties. So MA enter, take this property, apply it here on this one edge. So that is the only edge which is hidden, and that's the only hidden edge in the side view alone. We don't have the hidden edges anywhere else. And then we can just remove all the intermediate projector lines. Fine. So only the outermost boundary lines we can retain them, and all other lines we can just remove them. And of course we can place some important dimensions, 1 or 2 dimensions over here, at least most important dimensions. So from here to here, this length is given as A. I can place this dimension, place one more. So like this, you can continue to place some important dimensions. So yes, this has to come over here. Okay, so we can remove it from here. Like this, we can place some important dimensions. Again, match properties for dimension lines also need to be applied. Fine. So MA enter, click this dimension properties and click here. Now why we should apply these dimension properties? So I have applied the dimension properties on these dimensions. Let me show you why that's important. I didn't apply the dimension properties over here. So when we go in here, double click inside, and when we are adjusting this diagram here, fine, so double click outside. Then when we zoom in here, you can see that these dimension lines where we had applied the dimension properties, they are appearing thicker, and compared to these, the other dimension lines are still very, very thin. Okay, so that has to be a difference. There has to be some difference between the construction lines, the projector lines, which have to be the thinnest possible thickness, and dimension lines are medium. They should have medium thickness, and that's the thickness which is allotted over there. So in the model space, it is not visible because the setting for line space, we have a little less over here. Fine. So if we increase that, and then we'll be able to see the dimensions as well to be a little thicker. But since that is disturbing us while we are making the drawings, I had suggested the students to keep it to a very, very low, so that only the solid lines will appear a little thick. Dimension lines will appear like this. And apply the match properties and take the same properties over here. So now that we have applied most of the dimensions, it's time for us to just save it. Right, so now we have fixed it over here. Okay, so double click here. If the size is different, Z enter, 1xp enter, and then P enter for adjusting it over here. Once it is adjusted, double click outside, and if something else is coming here inside in midway, you can just move it over here. So we'll have to move it over here. We have to place it such that there is sufficient distance from the other diagrams over here. And now when we try to fix it, again Z enter, 1x P enter, and then P enter. I can adjust it, double click outside. Now you can see that the diagram is placed correctly and it is set to 1:1 ratio, 1:1 ratio. And now when the print is taken, it will come out perfectly without any problem. Fine. So when we take the print, now keep in mind that this is a letter size. So continue with plot. Here we have to change PDF creator. If you have installed any other alternate PDF creator like Primo PDF or PDF creator, you can select that. Or if you want to use the inbuilt converter, you have to choose DWG to PDF. Here you have to choose the letter size, which is 8.5 into 11 inches, and then this should not be selected. If you select this, then the different thicknesses that are appearing here will not be visible at all. So don't select this at all. Okay, so that should be left as it is, and all these settings should be left as it is. Once, if you're not getting the thicknesses in the PDF, you just check on all these settings over here like this. So let's click OK. Let me save it to the desktop with number 1. So once it is saved, it will open up automatically. If you have the Acrobat PDF reader installed, it will open up in the PDF reader. If you don't have that installed, it's going to open up using some browser. Again, there is a problem in here. Why is it appearing like this? This was adjusted exactly, almost exactly. Is our letter size correct? I don't really know that. So let's see the dimensions. When we take the print, we see that the letter size, letter extra, letter, what? Letter. Yeah, 8.5 to 11 inches. Just 215.9. Yeah, exactly, that's what we had taken. And then 11 inches to 79.4. 279.4, exactly. So that's the letter size. There's no doubt in this. And this is the letter size, and we had kept it in the letter size. And when we take the print, it should come correctly. DWG to PDF, bleed A. What is that bleed value? Expand A. All kinds of paper sizes are available. We gotta be careful in selecting which one we want. Let's try this. It's appearing a little better compared to the previous one, but still the margin is different on all the sides. The top margin is gone, totally gone. Why is that happening? So page setup, let's see what size we took. We took the letter size, DWG to PDF. Mm, 0.5 to 11. Okay, this is portrait. We want 11 into 8.5. Yep. Close. So the size that we are choosing must match over here. I think that's the problem. When we choose it over here, the size, I think the dotted lines represent how far it gets printed. So then now that we have chosen this over here, it's set up. We have chosen DWG to PDF and ANSI expand 11 into 8.5. Let's go ahead and select the same while giving the print. So that's selected. Expand now that has come out selected. Let's go with 3. Okay, so that seems to have fixed the problem. Mostly fixed the problem, but not completely. We still have the bottom line missing over here. The bottom line should also not be missing. That's our aim. So how to make the changes? What changes we need to make? So I guess this line is slightly below, or when you look at it from far end, you can see this dotted lines are appearing a little above, whereas here it's not appearing that way. So it probably has something to do with this. Or we could select page setup manager, modify this. Instead of expand, let's say full bleed a 11 into 8.5. Select this. Okay, now again this has changed. Let's move this over to place it over here. Now it's a full bleed. Modify full bleed, click OK and OK. Right, so let's say continue. So full bleed, it's got selected automatically. You just need to give print. Let's try the 4th attempt and see how it appears. Yeah, so this is what gives us the perfect solution. This is the most perfect solution we got till now. Alright, so this is the setting we are supposed to use. We had to undergo some differences. You can see that every version had its own problems. When we tried in the beginning, it was completely outwired, and then we tried to fix it. Bottom line came, but top line was missing, and then over here top line came and bottom line was missing, and then finally here we have all the lines perfectly, and the size is selected 1:1. Okay, so it is perfect. Okay, there's no problem whatsoever in here. Okay, so I guess this new I'll just save this fixed file as the new file, and students can continue using the same file. Right, so the thing that I came to understand is in the settings, in the page setup, I need to change this to apply here DWG to PDF. Then here full bleed is the option I have to check. Click OK, click OK. Then whatever changes we needed to, you have to apply it over here. Okay, so this line needs to go away. Yes, it's got no use. This line has to come over here. This has to come over here. I think this is how it's supposed to be, exactly speaking. Okay, so if you want to fix this, over here, so Z enter, 1xp enter, and no matter how we try to adjust it, it's not coming in the single place. Fine. So maybe if we modify this a little, we'll have to come back over here and probably bring this closer to the right side. This entire thing we need to move it closer. Probably then it's going to. There are chances. I'm not really sure it's going to be completely successful, but we could try. Oh God, my God. I turn this off. So I just need to come over here. Okay. It's got to come over here. Over here. Fine. Because now it's pretty much fixed. Even if now if it's not coming inside, then no, it's not possible. Yeah, very feebly possible. Fine. It's almost going to the end. So yeah, so now it can be fixed in portrait also, but of course portrait is not highly recommended because it's very congested. So it's better if you go for landscape, and then you can see it's got sufficient place over here. So let's try to delete that over here as well. So let me take this is just a rectangle, and this is the actual space. Okay, so this is the drawing space. So between the boundaries we don't want any diagram to appear, and neither do we want any diagram to appear and over cloud over this thing. So that's also something we need to clear. Here as well we have done that. So okay, so this outer one is a block, and this is the drawing area fitted exactly to come over here. The same thing we need to go to over here. So this is already set. I just need to change the setup, modify this. Okay, I don't want primer PDF. I'm just going to go to DWG to PDF. This is full bleed, but I just okay. This is A4. Fine. So full bleed A4. That's good enough thing. So let's go ahead and select that over here. Click close, and yeah, you can see that it is got fixed. So let me check over here. This is of no use. This one we need to move. Okay, so that it comes over here. Perfect. And first we need to bring that over here, and the stop part needs to come over here. Now it's perfect. And the same thing we need to do here as well. So let me take the A4 size, 0, click OK, and that's the size. We'll keep this one over here exactly. Then this one is going to appear over here and over here. Oh, so you got that option directly available over here. Why didn't I see that earlier? 1:2. 1:1. Yeah. Yeah, so now this is set. So blockade it, we'll do that later. So I guess now for now it's enough. Double click, and so it's problem number, topic, and digit number, faculty name is click OK. So students just have to double click on this to edit all this. Okay, so same thing's going here, something's going over here, something's going over here. Okay, so let's adjust that diagram, the same diagram over here. So if we want to adjust the same diagram here, you have to come here inside Z enter 1 XP enter, then P enter for adjusting it over somewhat. So then press enter, click outside, double click outside. That's enough, I guess. Right, perfect. Yeah, and same thing if you want to place in here, so double click and go here, Z enter 1 XP enter, and you can just adjust it if it is possible to adjust. You can see this is slightly going outside, so this is highly not recommended for this particular diagram. And if you have any other diagram that just fits into this, then you can go ahead and use that. Okay, so one more thing I need to change here is the page setup, not the new one. Come on, page setup manager, modify this. Primer PDF is gone, DWG to PDF, bleed A4. Yeah, so that's the size we want to use, and we want to move it over to this point exactly. Okay, so full bleed, yeah, right. So all the 4 types have now been fixed. So now if you try to keep it over here somewhat, you can see that the diagram is not going to overlap this. Of course there's going to be some overlap over here, but there won't be any overlap on the title bar. So you can just keep the diagram here safely over like that. Same thing here, you can see even it goes down, it's not going to overlap the name and other details. So you can just adjust the size, adjust this diagram over here neatly before taking the printout. Okay, so these are some of the mistakes we pointed out. So finally let's sum it all up. Okay. All right, so we have a total of 4 layouts created, and students, depending on what paper you're using, you can use the different this ones. Okay, I guess today not many people actually came up to see this live session. Okay, only around 30 students came up. Maximum 3 were viewing it at any given point of time. 2 likes, that's a good thing. Okay, thank you. And yeah, I guess in this session we just found this thing out. Let me just quickly go through what things we learned in this session. So first thing we learned is that there's no need to create a boundary in the model space. We can keep the boundaries, and all the topic related stuff, table related stuff, all can be pushed over to the layout space. And we also learned, okay, so let me just put it back. So now we can select this more carefully. Okay, same thing back. Now we can select this. Same thing back, we can select this. Same thing, we can now select this. Fine, so when you select this, we have an option of 1:2, 1:1. Okay, so once it is placed, then there is an option that with which we can reduce or increase the size. This will not actually increase the size of the object, but will just increase or decrease the size of this boundary that we have created over here. Um, does that apply here? Let's just check that. Okay. So now is it 1:1? I guess it is. Right, so there is no need even to do that. This is 1:1. 2:1. So this is changed. Here. Then in a select and check 1:1. That's coming up correctly. Right. So I don't know if this option is available in the older version as well, because when I tried using it in the class, in the classroom, we all know it's the older version that we are using. These things actually didn't run up, or probably I didn't actually select that thing. I'll have to try it over there. So if you're getting this option when you select this this boundary, which boundary in the layout within which the diagram is actually going to be visible, then I suggest you use that. And you just select what is the scale you want, and then once you fix the scale, you can just move this around and place it to fit in this particular region over here, which is decided by the block. Once it is fitted in, you can just double click, and without zooming any further, you can just use P enter if your roller is not working on the mouse, and you can place it around here. So we have to keep that in mind. Once you set this to 1:1 ratio, we should not zoom at all. So this is called zooming. So this zooming should never be done once you have selected this scale. If you don't want to go that way, you just double click inside and then Z enter 1xp enter. That's also going to do the 1:1 size fixing. Okay, so let's sum things up. So okay, so we can transfer all your problems into this particular file, and when you transfer those things, when you transfer those things, make sure there is no need for you to actually use these borders and all. Of course, you'll have necessity of using this legend over here. It's fine. So we can just use I enter, and the legend is going to be available in the blocks. You can just insert it, and after inserting, you can just explode. Select and then press X, enter. The second method you can use is you can use the inbuilt method of explode over here. So we can see if you select this explode option over here, I'll just deselect the rotate option. I'll just insert it at 0 degrees, insertion point, and explode. These are the two options which are selected. And when I just click here and leave it here, you can see that this is not a single object anymore. It has been divided into all these things. So by default it will explode. If this is not selected, and if you are inserting something, then it will continue to remain as a single object. So this, you can see it has become a separate object. You can just select and move each of the parts out of the group, whereas here the whole group moves as a single entity. So this is called as a block. If you are not exploding the block, it's going to remain together and you won't be able to apply the properties. If you want to apply the properties, you definitely have to explode it. So either you can explode using this option while inserting itself, or after inserting you can just select the block, which is single group, and then press X, enter. So that will separate it. Okay, so that was for the legend. It's fine. So this is how you can apply the legend. Insert the legend. Once the legend is inserted, you can apply the different properties after exploding to whatever parts you're drawing. And once your diagram is drawn, you just have to go here. You can use the letter sizes. If you're taking the printouts on the same paper, the paper of the record file, which is letter sized, and you can just double click in here, type Z enter, E enter, and then zoom into whichever problem you want to display over there, and type Z enter 1xp enter, and then P enter to place it, and then escape and double click outside. So this will bring it in the 1:1 ratio. If some other points or something are visible over here, you just have to go back to model space and either move them or delete them, whatever you want. You can do that. Come back here and you can see it is free for this particular thing. If you want to place some text for question or something, you can just place that over here. Okay, so this size I want it to be 4. Question statement. Fine. So you can increase or decrease the size depending on how much I want or don't want. You can see this is not visible over here, so I can just push it a little. Now it's visible. Now we can just double click inside and move it, place it sufficiently enough. Okay, so I can either modify it over here or can just cut it, double click, and after double clicking if I'm pasting it, so I can change this independent of the question. Fine, so we can just move this around independently and I can just make modifications to the question statement. Fine. Okay, right, so okay, what's happening here? Right, so you can see that now the question statement can be adjusted that way. So once the question statement has been typed, you can just adjust how long or how short you want this to be. Accordingly, it's going to just appear over here. Fine. Now if it's not fitting in properly, you can just make it sized like this. Okay, then you can take a copy of this, set. This statement you can just cut it off, paste it here. Match properties can apply over here, and you can reduce the size here like this. Reduce the size over here, something like this. So the question statement part of it is just going to go straight, and then part of it is going to appear over here like this. There's no option to get it, fix it, fill this space or anything like that. It's just going to be a rectangular space where the question statement is going to appear. So you must try to place it around the sides, something like this. So yeah, so to recap again, first you have to solve your questions, all your questions you have to solve it over here. Once it is solved, you can come here, double click inside and adjust this. Z enter, 1xp enter is very important step, and after which you should not zoom anymore, you should not roll your scroller on the mouse, and you should not use Z enter after that. Right, so Z enter, 1xp enter. After that you just have to use P enter, and lefty can be used to place it correctly. After that press escape and double click on the outside. Okay, so this is how you can set your drawing here. Fine, so in order to change the names and all, you can just double click on this. You will get a text box like this, which will allow you to change all these values. Fine, so this one is for conversions, 3D. Okay, 3D to 2D. Fine, and double click here. Okay, so topic is conversions 3D to 2D. Assignment number, you can just say problem number. This is problem number 1, and same way you can go for problem number 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 8. And you can also change your name and all. Yes, so type your name here. So whatever you type here, it's going to appear, it's going to reflect over here. Fine, so that way you can just go ahead and type the topic, type the problem number, and then adjust your diagram here. Then question, you can copy paste it here in the layout space separately, which will not be visible here in the model space, or you can paste it here in the model space itself, which is going to be slightly tricky. Okay, you'll have to move back and forth between the layout and model space a few times before you can be you are satisfied with your result. or you can adjust that over here itself. Fine. So there are a lot of different ways in order to do this. Whatever you do, the very important thing is that you must get the printouts very neatly. The end printouts that you get should be very neat. Okay, so now I'm going to take some printouts, and these printouts, when you come for the lab, I'm just going to show it to you to know, so that you will get a good idea about what the printout is going to look like. Right. Okay, so a lot of problems even I have solved in the class, and those are in the lab downstairs. I might have to probably collect it, and if possible I'll just try to take a printout of all those things, keep it as a sample record, just for showing you all how it's supposed to be done. Okay, so I guess some of you are still watching this stream, and I still have around 15 minutes, so I'll just spend that time in order to solve any of the other problems over here. Okay, let me take this problem up and solve it. Okay, so here this value is given, a value is not known. A value you'll have to take it from the diagram over here. Okay, so let me just go ahead and take that value from the exam itself. Okay, so you have to go for Moodle 30. You have to log in using your credentials. You'll have to type your roll number here and then password over here. Uh-oh, what happened? Yeah, I'm inside. Then go to my courses. In my courses, you will see all the courses that you have. So engineering graphics is the one we are interested in. And then open the side loop over here, and we are solving right now the orthographic projections thing. Okay, so problem number 1 we have done, and now we are doing with some other problem. Okay, so I don't exactly know which problem number it is. I guess it is the 7th or 6th. I'm not really sure. Let me open one of them. So 6th one, preview quiz. Oh god, the diagram is missing. The diagram has gone missing. Yeah, but we have the value here, but we have both A and B values. So which question is this? I'm not really sure which question is this. 63 and 100. So because it's 63, I think it is this particular diagram. Yeah, this is the one where we have the 63 value. So this is problem number 6. So let me place that over there. So this one is problem number 6. Then let's see problem number 7. Problem number 7, we only have a value. In here we have 3 values, A, B, C. Here we just have A. Here as well we just have A, but this is going to be last one for sure. So this is the 7th one. So I guess this value is this one is the 7th problem. Okay, let me place this over here. So 7th problem. This is going to be the 8th one for sure. And so only one number is left here for this particular problem, that is the 6th. This is first, this one second, this one is third, this one has to be fourth. So problem number also have kept it here. Okay, so we are solving the 7th one right now. Let's go ahead and do that. So a value is given as 40 over here, so I'm going to use a value as 40. Go to full screen and I'll start solving it over here. So I'll have to take a vertical line and a horizontal line. Now this line over here is slightly tilted towards the right side, so the front view has to be started over here. This line has to move over there. So start somewhere here. A value is 40. Then over here this is 48. And down, start back from here 118. Then up 16. Back here. Just need to intersect these two. Apply the solid properties on these objects. Fine. So this line doesn't exist. I need arc over here, and with the same center I need a diameter of 20. So de-enter 20 and 2. This also will be visible. This is the front view. So let me place it a little closer. Then over this edge, that's going to be hidden, so we'll have to draw this edge over from here to here. That's hidden, so hidden properties I have to take. Edge properties, hidden, and there will be two more hidden edges over here. We'll take that from the top view. So take a line, start, no, this is a projector line. We can take this of any length. Start over here and take a projector from here, click here, go down. Okay, I can start over here, right? Then this length is 44, so let me take 44, go here, close this, trim it off. So then take your yeah, so this length here is 12 from both the sides. So let's take O enter, 12 enter, this down, this up, then PR double enter. Okay, O enter, 12 enter, click up, TR double enter, come over these, match properties. These are all going to be visible, fine. But this is not a square, this is to appear as a circle. So for that circle, this is 44, so its radius is going to be 22. So O enter 22. Take this over here. Now from the midpoint of this, I need to take midpoint as center of the circle, passing through this. This line is no longer needed. This line is also not needed. So TR double enter, remove these. Take this projector line to extend over here. This has to match the properties. Then we have this inner circle of diameter 16. So take circle, touch this once to get the center. From this center, take diameter and 16. That's the one. Then we need to take length of 24 from these points. So L enter, from this point take 24, and this we need to take a copy of this. This point has to be kept over here. Take one more line, join these 2 points, trim these two. Match properties, apply the solid edge properties over here. Then we need to take projector lines from here to here and here, from here till here and here. Remove the inner projector lines. These 2 lines will not be visible, they will be hidden, so let's make them hidden. Then we need 2 hidden lines over here for these holes. So from here, click here, here, here and here. So many times you'll have to click. Take from quadrant, click on all the lines where you want the line to end. And these inner lines, because we clicked on these 2 points, they will be separate, so remove them, delete them. Match properties, apply the hidden edge properties on all these edges. So now the top view is also complete. there is nothing else here. So we now have to focus on building the side view. So let's extend this downwards. So take a line from here, then take a circle from here till this point. Then I'll have to trim it, remove these. Again, O enter. Okay, let me just push it a little up. Okay, that should be good enough. So now O enter, T enter. I can use this for getting parallel lines and concentric arcs. Now to build this side view. Come in. I'll need some time. So we're building the side view now. I'm going to do that. Click here, vertical. I can take some reference points from here. So take this reference and then this projector line. And go ahead, click here, then click here. And I can go ahead and click these 2 points. And from this away. Then O enter, T enter. You can continue taking points from here. These lines have to cross probably here. This. Now this entire edge will be visible from front view, so this entire thing has to be made visible. This bottom edge also needs to be line. Match properties on that line as well. Now we have some more hidden edges from this end. Click, click, click. These lines are not hidden, so these lines need to be made hidden. And same lines we need to take them from here. So I can just take O enter, T enter, click here, and then click over here. So you can see now that this line is passing through this point. So I can click here and then take passing through this point. And now we need 2 more hidden edges over here. Okay. So let me remove these lines. Now take O enter, T enter. I want this line passing from over here. So you can see that there is a slight difference between these 2. Okay, be careful with that. We are now taking reference from this end. So same reference we have to take from here, and from here we will get 2 hidden edges for these 2 edges. Okay, so from here and then the line over here. Match properties, these 2. Remove the inner projectors to avoid confusion. And I guess now we have our diagram ready. This and then projector we can just draw it. And yeah, this is the inner one. Let's remove it. These are this is the front view, top view, and the side view for this 3D diagram that is given to us. We have taken the A value as 40. So depending on what question you are getting, you can accordingly take the values. And after solving this, as I told you, we can go either to better landscape. Now one diagram has been set here. We want to set the next diagram for us. You can just move a copy, move to the end, create a copy, click OK. Now what happens is a copy of this will be created. Landscape, letter landscape is there, landscape 2 is another copy of that. Now I can double click inside and use zoom in, zoom out. Once this is set, enter 1xp enter. That's going to bring it to actual size. I can just adjust it by using pan, double click, and then change this question. If the statement is different for this particular question, you can just change that question by double clicking here. So this is how we can set it. So you can see that the earlier question is there as a separate layout. Now this other one we have created is a separate layout. We can go on creating separate layouts for all these problems one by one, and then once all these are created, we can continue and go ahead and take printouts, digital PDF, and all these settings have already been selected, so you don't have to change them. You just have to take print, click OK, and say okay, well, not problem name something. Okay, If it is saved, it will open up and show you what it looks like. Oh, oh, there is some problem. We didn't get this question over here. I didn't get this question. These we have got, but the question has not appeared. Why is that? Let's see if there is any setting in here. Plotting background, object line weights, transparency, plot styles, plot paper space last, hide paper space objects. I have not hidden any paper space objects, but still it's not showing up in the printout. Why is that? Let's try enabling it now. And set it to 7.5. Okay, now paper space object, when we didn't select, again the question is not appearing. Why is that? This question should appear in the printout. Let's try one more time. Hide, this time let's not select the hide option over here. PDF options, vector quality and all, that's all for PDF. Paper space last. Plots model space geometry first. Paper space geometry is usually plotted before model space geometry. Okay, so this is the one which is controlling the paper space geometry. Let's deselect and try it once again. This one, let's create a 6. Okay, again the text is not appearing. What's the problem? Why the text is not coming? The text should be coming. Let's try again. Style table. Save changes to layout. Scale. It's here. Okay. Does it apply only for text? Let's try write some lines, other things. Circle, straight rectangle. Okay, that's again trying to print it over. Ready to PDF, everything is fine. We're not doing this. Okay. Cool. Yeah, lines and all are appearing, but text is the only one which is not appearing. Text is appearing when it is part of the block, but text is not appearing if it is pasted separately. Why is that happening? I don't have much idea about that. That means the text cannot be placed here. So let's try exploding this. Now let's check it. Okay, so now this is 9. No. No again. So let's check the exp. This is an advanced command which explodes selected text into polylines. Now let's see if that is printed. Yeah, that means text is the only entity which is not getting printed in there. If it's a line, if it's a polyline, if it's a circle or rectangle or any other object, then it's getting printed. So a text would have to be either placed in the model space, or if the text is to be placed in the layout space, it needs to be exploded. If it is exploded, then it's of no use. You won't be able to modify it any further. So my suggestion is to go ahead and place the text in the model space itself. Because when we place the text in the model space, okay, let's copy it with the reference point. Copy with the reference point with option. We had an option to copy with the reference point, didn't we? Yeah, copy with the base point. This is base point and paste it. So this is the base point we selected. Now if we come back here, let's do this. Now this. Now you can see all the text that I had placed here. I've removed it. And now this as well. I'm going to click it. And same settings. 11th trials. What? Well, this is unique. Text is not even printed if it is in the model space. The dimensions are getting printed, but not the text. Why is that happening? No idea why it's happening. Let's go back and check out. Oh ho, so this is placed in def points layer. That's the reason why it's not coming up. Now I remember, I had placed all this data in the def points so that this would not come in the printouts, and the same thing is getting applied over here. So what we need to do in order to avoid that is to apply the properties of dimensions over here. Now this. Right. So now it's going to accept this move of the plate. So whether you place it here or here, you're going to come out. Yeah, so you can see the text is now coming up properly. So whether you place it here or if you don't want to place it here, just let it go the big outside and place it now. That's also going to be printed. Okay, fine. So this is how you can take printouts. Fine. So let's take and keep this question statement as well present here. So question statement, I'm just going to keep it as question statement. And place it around places. Right. It's not needed. Place it over here as well. It's going for Fine, so I guess I have solved the problem for printing purpose. So the students who are watching this, you can know what are the steps that I've explained in here. So take the printouts, solve the problems over here, and go to the different layouts, whichever layout is convenient for you, and then take the PDFs, printouts, save it as PDFs, and those PDFs you can take the prints anywhere when you go outside. Okay, so this problem has been saved, and just let us save it. The version is in this 24 and this 2004 version, not DXF, 2004 DWG. Then template, okay. Saved it with print template name in the downloads place. Let's save it in the desktop so that it's easier for us to take it here. All these files are no use. Need to replace this file. Save it. Here one sequence. So organize. Let's go here. So this is the file which opens every time you type that link over there. So okay. It doesn't matter if I give the items to them, does it? Yes. Okay. So give it again. Desktop 2004 version. If I want to replace it. Right. So this is the print ready template. So I need to replace this. So go from my versions, upload a new version, save it on desktop. So print template, open it, and that's going to be replaced. Now close it. So let me rename this and put the name ready. Print ready template. So now if the students are opening that particular link, you'll end up with a print ready template. You download and open it. This print ready template is now opening up perfectly fine. So that now you have all the settings which I had applied here for printing purpose ready and available for you. Okay, so hopefully now you'll be able to take prints which are much more neater, and so that you know it's all the extra lines and other things are not going to end up in your files. And okay, that's it for now. Happy printing. Hopefully you will submit the reports whenever you have the lab next time, and see you there. Goodbye. Brothers, those who are not my students who are watching it on YouTube, I hope you were able to find something useful from this session. If you find something was useful to you, I suggest you share this video to more and more people so that more people come to know about our channel. And if you have any doubts or anything any problem that you want me to solve, please let me know, and I'll definitely try to make another live stream, and I'll try to solve those questions on the live stream next time whenever I get a chance. So that's it for now. I have no comments here, and that possibly means that either you're not very interested or you don't have any questions. Okay, then I'm just going to stop here. and I have to get back home now. Fine. Goodbye.